In this video, we will be talking about the three sister sensations of feeling and how you can use simple directionality to activate your emotional life and create characters on stage and in film right after this. Hi, the Inspired Actor here. If you're new to this channel, we are dedicated to helping actors become better artists by offering these quick, roughly 10-minute acting lessons. Just a quick reminder, we have about 100 of these on our channel so far, so feel free to check them out. And if you want to see more videos like these in the future, go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified as soon as they come out. Also, take a moment before you forget and hit that like button, as it really helps me out. And if you know people who might like these videos, please don't hesitate to share them on your social media outlet of choice. Okay, actors, I want you to do something for me which should be totally easy. I want you to be happy. Go ahead. Do it. I'm waiting. Come on, hurry up. Okay, try this. Be sad. Be angry? Be somewhat upset? Acting is a bit harder than that, isn't it? Emotional states of being are essentially the meat and potatoes of our work. But if we try to act an emotional state of being, we can't do it, at least not authentically. We can go, "I'm angry," and make a frowny face and speak louder, but we're a long way from a truthful or inspired performance. For actors, emotions are like cats. We can coax them, lure them, and nurture them, but we can never control them. And it's very difficult to make them do what we want them to do when we want them to do it. The only thing we can do is create an environment in which our emotional life can flourish. And we do this through our actions. An actor performs. To perform means to execute an action, to do something. An actor is always doing something, executing actions. Actions can be tangible, like lifting a box or walking across the stage or saying a bit of text, and actions can be intangible, like falling in love, raising someone's spirits, or coming to a conclusion. Oftentimes, our tangible and intangible actions are working in tandem with each other, each external action influencing and sparking an internal action within ourselves and our scene partners, which in turn influences more tangible and intangible actions, creating a fluid and dynamic performance until it reaches its conclusion. This is the crux of the Chekhov technique. It recognizes the interconnectedness of our tangible and intangible actions and aspires to harness them for production. It is the psycho-physical approach to our work. In this video, I will be covering what Chekhov calls the three sister sensations of feeling. This is a process by which we can coax our inner life using our imagination in order to activate our emotional life through directionality. To actors used to using emotional recall or affective memory in their work, a process by which they use personal memories and overlay them onto their characters, this can be somewhat heretical. But there are ways to awaken our inner emotional life without having to use our real-life experiences. This can be a faster, healthier, and more holistic approach to drawing out our emotions without the necessity of possibly revisiting our personal trauma or damaging our psyche. For example, what if there was a way to awaken our emotional life by imagining a sensation of rising? Let's give it a try. Draw your attention to your heart. Imagine it sitting in your chest, just doing its thing. Now imagine it filling up with air like a balloon, and that it is now rising upwards. Enjoy the feeling of your heart continuously floating upwards like a balloon into space. Take a look around the room and see if this image of your rising heart has affected how you interact with the environment around you. Once you are ready, let that feeling dissipate and come back to your home body. After this video is finished, I invite you to try the same exercise with your ears, your feet, and your belly. Notice how each sensation changes with its imaginary placement. This rising sensation is one of Chekhov's three sisters, The other two are falling and balancing. What we are doing is directing our energy in a simple direction, up, down, or in between, to awaken our emotions. It really is a quick and simple way to work and can instantly open your acting up to infinite possibilities. Now let's try falling. If you are sitting down or near a chair, stand in front of the chair as if you are about to sit in it. I'm going to invite you to sit down in that chair. But first, I'd like you to imagine that the seat is about 4 inches higher than it actually is. Now, with a feeling of ease, sit in the chair, allowing yourself to fall into the chair for those last 4 inches. After you drop into the seat of the chair, imagine yourself continuing to fall through the chair and into the floor, and then past the floor. Continue to fall, fall, fall. While holding on to that sensation of falling, look around the room again and notice how this sensation of falling has changed your interactions with the space around you. When you are ready, let that feeling dissipate and come back to your home body. So now we have explored two sensations, rising upwards and falling downwards. Both of these directions have shared connotations and meanings embedded in our cultural awareness. When we are happy, we are said to be walking on air or lighter than air. We get raises at work and we can raise someone's spirits. When we are recovering from an illness, we may be on the upswing. We can be upbeat or up to the task or on cloud 9. When we are feeling sad, we are said to be feeling down or down and out or downcast. Someone else can let us down, or we can put down others. We can be downtrodden, fall down on the job, fall by the wayside, and fall out of favor with someone. That's not to say that up always means a good thing and down always means a bad thing. We can certainly blow up at someone. We can be an airhead and mess up, which would get our boss all fired up because we were up to our old tricks. We can also fall in love with someone, which was easy as falling off a log, and the rest of our lives with that person can fall into place, which might make us feel down to party. The point is that we can use our creative imaginations to create this energy inside of us that we can use to change our emotional life. And depending on the qualities we give that energy, fast or slow, staccato or legato, molding, flying, flowing, radiating, and so on, we can find nuanced emotion that we can call forth whenever we need it in our work. Now let's try balancing. Find a space in the room where you can fall without too much damage to yourself or your things. Try standing on one foot. Allow yourself to become somewhat unbalanced, but try not to fall if possible. Take risks. Play with your balance by switching feet and points of center throughout your body. While holding on to that sensation of balancing, look around your space and notice if this sensation is changing how you receive from and radiate to the environment around you. When you are ready, come back to a balanced home stance and let that feeling dissipate. So balancing is that place in between the polarities of up and down. I want to caution that balancing is not balanced. It is an active state that we are making an effort to attain. It is not something we have already attained. We are striving to attain equilibrium. When we are experiencing the sensation of balancing, then we are on the edge of revelation or understanding. It requires taking a risk, which is why when doing the previous exercise, we must allow ourselves to fall sometimes so that we know that we are going as far as we can physically go. So it's a balancing act when our objective hangs in the balance. In life, we can be knocked off balance by huge news, and we might have to measure it up against something else. But if we pull our own weight and throw our weight behind our goals, we might just be able to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Again, just like before, balancing is neither implicitly positive or negative. Most of the characters we play will be in some active balancing throughout the play or movie. They are in a constant state of trying to maintain their equilibrium throughout the rises and falls of the story's structure. Some final notes. Many Chekhovians teach this as floating, falling, and balancing. I'm not a big fan of the term floating because it implies a quality. I think you can float up as well as fly up and mold up and even radiate up. But in the interest of working within the limitations of the English language, I'll keep falling but use rising instead. Also, we don't have to exclusively reside in any one of these states at any given time. A character might fall externally and rise internally. Oh no, I'm so sorry that you didn't get the lead in the play we just auditioned for. But I'm secretly very happy that I got the part instead of you. Tee-hee-hee. Additionally, we can incorporate a sensation in only one part of our body to either create character or find a nuance in a moment. For example, if I want to play that I am drunk on stage or on camera, I can simply isolate the sensation of balancing to my head or even just my nose, and then veil or unveil the sensation depending on how drunk my character might be. It doesn't even have to be visible to the outside eye, but it's incredibly effective at creating the physical feeling of being drunk. Here are some things for you to try. Just let your jaw continuously fall and then try some simple text like, "Happy birthday." What does that do? Now try to give a rising sensation to just your buttocks. That should be pretty fun. Now try imagining giving just your eyes the sensation of balancing. The possibilities are endless, and it's so very easy once you get the hang of it. Next time, we'll be covering the crown jewel in the Chekhov technique, psychological gesture. So if you want to be the first to be notified when that video comes out, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. See you later, colleagues.